So what's it like waking up after surgery in the recovery room? Well, it's good and it's bad. It's good to be awake and alive again, but it's bad because you are not in any sort of condition you never knew you could be in. So here's basically what it's like. I felt like, what it actually felt like is I was a kid in school sitting at a desk, okay? So think of how you'd be sitting in a desk like that. And you're leaning back a bit. So I'm not laying flat, but the back of the bed is up. And I'm in a regular hospital bed at this point. So the back of the bed is up, so I'm sort of sitting up, and my arm is out like this, almost like you would have your arm on the desk, like a student in class with a pen or pencil and a notebook, and you sort of fell asleep in class right there, and you sort of wake up and you kind of see the pen in your hand, and you're still in school, and you're like, shit, I hope nobody saw that I fell asleep. That's what it felt like immediately when I woke up. And ahead of me, what did I see? There was a nurse there at a terminal that was on wheels, and she was feverishly entering in data and all kinds of stuff. She had me and I think one other patient to watch, as attentive as a hawk. I could not believe how this lady was watching the both of us. But this is what you have to do. This is why they're paid. I mean, this is their job. But so they're watching me like a hawk. And she says, "Sir? Yes, how are you?" I said, okay. I said, "I just had surgery." She says, "Yes." I said, "How did I do?" She said, "You did great. You had your gallbladder removed, and you're in the recovery room." I said, "That's nice." And I was like completely out of it. I had no other semblance than to just barely know my location and sort of what happened. And that was all I had. So she says, "Okay, I'm going to give you some oxygen again." And this was not a mask. It was one of them things that goes with the little things that go in your nose and around like that, hooked up to a tank behind me, because that helps get the anesthesia out of your body. She says, "I want you to breathe deeply again." I said, "Oh, here we go again," right? So I breathe, and I'm breathing, and I'm starting to feel like a little more. It's like when you first wake up in the morning, you're really groggy, especially if somebody calls you or something, and you're like, "Oh," and you're like totally dead, and they say, "Yeah, I'm fine. I'm just trying to tell you that the light bulb in the garage burned." "What? What? Oh, who is this?" "Oh, the bulb. Oh, okay. Yeah, I was just getting up in 5 minutes anyway." "Oh, the bulb in the garage went out? All right, I'll change it when I get home from work. No problem." You know, you sort of get that gradual wake up, but this is a much slower curve that you're going on, waking back up until you were sort of get back to semblance again. So I'm breathing the oxygen, and I'm going up this curve slowly but surely. And finally, the lady said to me something that I never thought would ever happen. Remember how I said my mouth was dry through this whole thing and I couldn't eat or drink anything for days? Well, she said, "Can I get you some ice chips?" "Really?" She says, "Yeah." I said, "Yes." So she got them, and she put them in a cup for me, and she put them on the little table right in front of me here. And I sort of barely reached out, because you're really weak. You like can't do anything yet. It's fucked up. And I grabbed the cup, and I go real slow, and I take an ice chip, and it was the greatest thing. But let's be realistic. This is a fucking ice chip, people. It tastes like a piece of ice. It's nothing special. But just to wet that again was nice. And it was enjoyable. And I had the oxygen, and I'm starting to wake up a little more. And she comes and she says, "How you feeling?" I said, "I'm feeling a little better." She said, "Okay, good. You're not coming off of the anesthesia as quickly as I would have hoped, so you're going to have to be here for about an hour or so yet." I said, "That's fine. Whatever it takes, it doesn't matter." And I'm sitting there, and maybe 10 minutes later, she's dealing with the other patient there. talking to him, see how he's doing. I have no idea why he was there, what he had done, or anything like that. I was too out of mind to even know. And she finally came back to me and she says, if you want, I can upgrade you to some apple juice. I said, you're kidding. That I can drink? She said, yeah. I said, could you put it in the cup with the ice? She said, sure, I'll be right back. I couldn't believe this was happening. And she ran off and she came back with a little container of apple juice. It comes in a plastic container with a foil top that you tear off, and it tears like not canned fruit, but in the plastic pouch where you peel the foil off the top, and it's just apple juice in this plastic thing like that. I don't know how many ounces, maybe 4 ounces or something like that. And she pours it in the cup with the ice, and she fucking had a straw and put a straw in the fucking thing. And I turned to her and said, shit, now I gotta give you a tip. And she laughed and she said, oh good, you're doing fine. You know, so meanwhile they sent the wife in to see me, and she says, how are you? I said, I'm here still. And it was like a really slow going thing, but eventually they released me from the recovery room, and I was in a hospital bed at that point. And now they said, okay, we're going to have you transported up to your room now, and I got to get a transporter. They have people in the hospital called transporters that take patients from where they are to where they need to go. So there was a guy before that took me, obviously, from the room down to the operating room. Now this guy's bringing from the operating room back to the hospital room, and they take you wherever you need to go. Okay, they're called transporters, but you got to wait for them because there's a finite number of people and so many patients, and they're busy, and you have to wait. There's obstacles in the way for these transporters. You have to wait for the elevator because obviously you can't take a patient on a stretcher downstairs, so you got to wait for the elevator. So there's bottlenecks like that. And if you're getting a patient out of the hospital, you have to be put in a wheelchair for them to wheel you out. And then you got to wait for the car that you're getting in to drive up. So then they got to wait there until the car gets there. They can wheel you right out, help you into your car. You know, thank you, have a good day, feel better, and you're on your way, and that's it. So we got to wait for the transporter. It's going to be about 10 minutes. All right, fine. So this cool-looking black guy comes up to me. He says, hi, I'm Merv. His name was Mervin. I was like, Merv? Like Merv Griffin? You know? I was like, hey, Merv. And I'm like feeling really good at this time. He said, I'm going to take you back to your room. I said, thanks, Merv. That's great to hear. Well, Merv goes to take me back to my room. So he takes me out of there. And this is where it gets fun with Merv. Because we go to the elevator, and we get in the elevator, and he looks at the chart to see where I'm going, and he says, oh, you're going to the 9th floor. I said, yeah. He said, oh, the 9th floor. I said, I know why you're saying that. The 9th floor in this hospital is sort of it's the floor for the big shots. A regular hospital room does not look like the room that I had. They have cabinets where all the oxygen equipment is put away. They have pictures on the wall. They have maybe nicer TVs, nicer stuff all around. In the hallways, it's carpeted, you know. And he says, oh, the 9th floor. Now, he knew who I was, and he knew why I was there, and he knew why I was on the 9th floor. And the reason I was on the 9th floor is because I'm a YouTube big shot. Now, actually, the reason why is because the wife works at this hospital, so we get preferential treatment. So, anyway, I'm not that kind of high-class kind of guy, but it does turn out that, I mean, you know, celebrities get sick. They're not infallible. They're just like you and me. They're regular people deep down inside, and they can have heart attacks and have gallbladders removed and shit like that. And there have been celebrities in this hospital on that floor. So it is entirely possible that I've been on the same floor with Mariah Carey or Billy Joel or any number of other people that you could possibly think of that have been in the hospital before. it's entirely possible I was in the same room that they were once in. So for whatever that's worth, absolutely nothing. I figured I'd throw it out there. Okay, that was nice. Somebody spun their tires outside on the wet road. Good for them. So Merv is taking me up there, and like I said, Merv is like, oh, the 9th floor. And like I said, he knew why I was there. He said, I hate the 9th floor. It's so hard to push these beds on the carpet. I say, all these hoity-toity people, all these rich bastards getting the rich floor with the fucking carpeting. You gotta break your damn back pushing the fucking hospital bed down these carpeted floors because of these high-dollar, high-maintenance fucking people and shit. And he's laughing up a storm because he can't say that, but I can. And anyway, he gets me in the room and hooks me all up and gets me all set. And then I start my road to recovery. And that, of course, will be in the next part.